Yes, we're unmuted.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Beaufort County Board of Education agenda setting meeting of February 8th, 2021. The meeting is being conducted by hybrid video conferencing. The meeting is also being streamed by the county channel. We now need a motion to approve the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Mr. Schumacher made the motion for agenda approval. Mr. Mel Campbell second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. The motion carries unanimously. We will now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The media has been properly notified. We now need a motion to approve the January 26, 2021 agenda setting meeting minutes.
January 26th. Meeting minutes.
Okay. Mr. Mel Campbell made the motion to approve the January 26 meeting minutes, and Mr. David Scriveners made a second. I'd just like to comment, I think the minutes are fine. Just we have to decide how we're going to dispose of the November 30 agenda setting minutes. Because that's on here. That was the one where it failed. We think the motion failed 102, but I think maybe it passed. I don't know. Do you have any comments, Ms. Cartlett? Yeah. Robin was, but I don't know if she did, and she's out of town.
I was thinking, I don't know if this works, but
Can you turn on your mic and talk into it?
it is. I was thinking we could have the prior members come to a meeting since they were present, because Mr. Campbell, Mr. Strickland, you weren't there. So they can't go.
Mhm.
So if Ms. Robine, Mr. Smith, those.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Just do it before one of our next meeting. Yeah. Mr. Strickland.
What Mel and I didn't cast our votes. And the vote would be 1-0-0. That would be the majority, right? I'm not a parliamentarian, but.
Exactly. See, I think that is the way it is, because to me, an abstention is refraining from voting. And it's not that you've cast a no and you haven't cast a yes, so I don't know.
We'll do that too.
Well, we'll have to have it back on the agenda on next meeting, because it's not on there right now, but I just kind of want to have a discussion how we're going to
But
handle
that's
it.
a great resolution.
Okay, perfect.
I didn't. Good idea.
All right, any further discussion about the January 26th meeting minutes? All right, all in favor of approving? Aye.
Aye.
Minutes are approved unanimously. We are now down to setting the agenda for the next board business meeting, which will be on February 16th. And we have a draft agenda before us. So we'll just kind of go through in order like we usually do. I won't read all the stuff at the top because that hasn't changed. So we have an executive session, and Dr. Rodriguez.
Yeah, I have one item I'd like to add to that, which is the Hilton Head Island Middle School contract for the architects. Can you hear me, or did
Yeah, very well
did-
now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Last meeting, the board saw the contract and approved a negotiation to move forward. And so we'll have the contract, same document available, but with the information. Yes.
Sounds good. So Wendy will put the wording together for us.
Yes, I will, thank you.
You're welcome. And the other thing we need on there is, I've done what the board asked me to do, with HR regarding our personnel matter, so we need that back on the, agenda as well under executive session.
Personnel matter regarding compensation.
Yeah, something to that effect. Do you have anything you want to add? No? Under the executive session? Or you hold out? No. Okay. So what's a good time estimate? Right now we have, it's starting at 5.
I think that's probably fair.
Yeah, then we can always, we have just a break, even the break's a little longer
Yeah.
between that and the public session. I think that's better than trying to hurry through.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. You guys on board with that, Mel and David?
So far, you know, the 2 matters, right?
Right.
It depends how long that question that you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. All right. Then we're down to, the student performance, the Beaufort High School Voices, which will be, I assume, virtual.
Yes.
Yeah. And our points of celebration, the students of the month,
Yeah.
from north of the Broad and south of the Broad.
Yep.
And then we're gonna be announcing some scholastic arts and writing competition gold key winners. You guys just chime in if you want me to slow it down. The first public comments, as usual, and it's outlined above how to participate if you would like to as a member of the public. The chairman's report. What I probably will do is just tell the public that I did what I was asked to by the board. I gave a letter to the governor and Molly Spearman regarding expediting the vaccine. I won't go into a lot of detail because we've already discussed it. And then the other thing is, just give a brief, announcement about the annual South Carolina School Board Association conference that's on Hilton Head, later that week. And I know a number of us are attending. Anything else, you guys? Think of? Okay. Then we're to the committee reports. All right. So these will be the committees, right, Molly, that will have met by next Tuesday? And may bring some, we'll give a report, perhaps discuss the scope again, or bring something forward. Yes, I agree. But we can't leave you off. So let's, so we're gonna add board self-evaluation, because that was a committee. And we're doing that meeting tonight. Dr. Art, can I ask you, I think, well, certainly at least one other board member and I concur with this, is the employees of the district are very much interested in what the bonus is going to look like. And so I believe Finance Committee will be discussing that and bring forward a recommendation.
That's on the agenda, for Finance Committee, this week.
Okay,
So,
all right, so that should come forward, and that will come forward under there.
Yeah.
Okay. Under Policy Committee, is it reasonable, since you're on that committee, David, to have the third reading at this meeting?
I think that would be reasonable, and it was a request by Captain Roma.
Right.
And there were three changes that were suggested after the second reading.
Uh-huh.
And we made those three, or we are going to make those three changes tomorrow.
Okay.
And I think they're relatively non-contentious changes.
Right.
So I don't think there'll be a lot of discussion.
Dr. Rodriguez?
So not jumping ahead here, but I did notice on the back end of the
Oh, yeah.
agenda that under board business action, board policies, it talks about third and final reading. So I'm not sure where.
I was just thinking, maybe that is, just when you said that, maybe it's better to leave it there, because if we start under committee reports, if we start, how should I say, listing subtopics, we really kind of have to do that for all of them. So I think that's a better idea, is the policy committee will give its report, but it's very clear that we'll be talking about the manual under board business. Okay. Do you have any comments about ACE or operations that we need to bring up here now?
There's a ACE board meeting, I believe on Thursday. So I'm sure they'll have something to share at that meeting.
And we'll be discussing some administrative regulations at the operations committee. Acceptable use of policies to totally to be compliant with the mandatory reporting of child abuse and neglect, as well as the COVID-19 state. Updating.
And so, David,
So I think there's a somewhat sizable HR PE consultant
There's
coming forward.
there are two HRPEs. Wasn't sure whether they would be covered in this particular spot under committees, or if I put it into the superintendent's report, or where. But essentially, you're right, Mr. Scrivener. There are two, I believe, PEs that HRPEs that actually, it's really, it's two that kind of combined into one, right, Wendy?
I think this one already presented those previously, and she's
They
distributed.
they were presented to us.
Right.
And I know it's a sizable annual HR.
So we're-
5 or 6 pieces.
So are those, let me double check, I'm going through the agenda just to make sure I'm.
and then where do you think would be best to have them, since they are really, yes, they're the work of the committee, but they originate from administration?
But they come out of operations.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, normally we do it under committee report.
Yeah,
I'm just pointing out that it's somewhat sizable. It's going to take some time.
okay. We'll skip the superintendent matters since he's occupied for a minute. We can go to, board business action. We need to bring the, as I'm sure you both know, the board has to approve any changes to the 2021 calendar, and graduation dates are being considered for a change to allow work to go on in the schools earlier in the summer. And then we just already talked about the board policies, manual, the final and third reading. Consent agenda, we've got the approval of minutes.
Okay. All right.
Dr. R.
Yep, so I'm waiting to hear back from Alice. So in the meantime, though, are we in the superintendent's report?
Yeah, we skipped down and did the rest too.
Okay,
And we talked about operations, when we met people with operations committee.
Okay, so, in the superintendent's report, under, fiscal responsibility, we have the, monthly transparency report, monthly 100K, board monthly budget. And then there are several items that would be going through, but I think they'd be going through the finance committee portion. So, and then we spoke about bonuses, but there are, there's 2 PEs and a discussion on fixed assets disposal that will be coming out of the finance committee. So just be prepared to hear about that, because that's going to be in finance committee this week.
So I think it would be helpful if, under the committee reports, if we could have just what ARs are gonna be discussed and what PEs are gonna be discussed, yeah, if we just list them.
Okay.
Because we're going to get documents related to that. Yeah.
Then, operations, also has the, 10-year plan book that they're going to be discussing this week.
So there's gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
Of committee reports.
Yeah. And then, of course, Wendy, while I was on this, did you talk about the acceptable use technology?
Yes, sir.
And where is that going to fit in the superintendent's report, or is that going
That's going to be coming out of the.
Out of committee?
Operations Committee. Yes, sir.
and the mandatory reporting
Yes, sir.
out of committee? And then the COVID-19 related leave, those are and professional leave, those are coming out of committee too?
Yes, they are.
Okay, all right. Then we have a COVID-19 update. Then, did you all go down in board business action?
Yes, we did.
Okay, under board business action, there is discussion of the academic 2020-2021 graduation dates on that calendar that that I think will be coming forward around the shift, just to make sure that we have some additional dates available in the event of rain, because we can't go inside for graduation, right? So we have to sort of shift the game plan around that.
Do you all want to add graduation dates?
I would prefer that on that agenda item, that it says graduation dates, because that's what I want the discussion to be around, not anything else related to graduation. I want it to be about the dates.
That sounds good. So did you get that, Molly? Yeah, so under the first item under board business action, just add graduation dates to the end of that. And I just received, we received a, agenda request from, Church of February, and all of it we've already covered except for, she also reports, as the chair of the operations committee that, there'll be the construction update, and that's normally fairly lengthy too. So it seems like we're gonna have a very lengthy committee section on the agenda.
And when do we have the clock update?
The clock comes in March for the end of the
Quarter.
quarter.
Okay.
So I don't know if the board wants this one or both of them, or
This one would be, we usually do both. I think.
That's fine.
Yeah. I think we're interested in the public is.
Yeah.
As you realize.
Oh, yeah.
On what's being done. I think we're covered that pretty well. Anybody have anything they need to add or suggest or change or? So I have a question, because this would be regarding the future meeting, Dr. R. the board has, had directed you to survey, or try to get in touch with the families that left the district during the pandemic to find out what their plans are going forward. I can't remember, I'm just paraphrasing the motion. Okay.
Have Ms. Walton call.
Okay.
Alex. Okay, do you have, do you bring a PE for the board this month? Was a sizable PE that went to operations before, but it hasn't come forward. Okay. Okay, all right, okay. Okay. Okay, hang on. All right. She said that, she's not sure if the operations committee, when they meet this week, if they're gonna wanna bring it forward this time or next time. What she said, she's
And
waiting,
which is that?
the PE.
Yeah, Tricia said, mentioned them in the email she just sent, but that's fine. I mean, this is a draft agenda.
Yeah,
And
we'll
they
be
can
ready.
determine, right, are they ready or no, they're gonna wait till the next one, it's fine.
Okay.
We're just putting a placeholder on, right?
Yep.
I think we finished that, so I was,
I think you were asking me about the survey to
Yes.
parents about those that had left us, what their intentions were. And so they have a brief survey together, I believe. I thought the discussion was that it would go to the Bluffton Growth Committee first before we send it out. But
I don't think it really needs to, I'd have to go back and look at the motion, but I don't think it needs to. The board's already determined it needs to go out, so I think it's an extra step that's not necessary really, and also, delays it going out. David?
I agree, and the Park Growth Committee is very focused on one part of the county.
Not
I
also.
think it's appropriate to have it go through there.
okay, very good.
I concur with that, I'm thinking too.
Well, we have the survey ready to go.
Perfect.
So we'll
So then
execute.
we need, and I don't know, the window for them to answer and everything, do you think it would be one of the March meetings that we have it, or?
Yes, because we'll need to get the information, have enough time for them to respond to it and then get the information back to the sheriff. So I would target the first March meeting because by then we'll definitely.
No?
10-year plan, we're not discussing receiving those.
We can,
The 10-year capital improvement update, strategic plan, we're not gonna have any discussion.
Historically, there's always been extensive discussion.
I know, that's what I was saying.
There are challenges with the 10-year projection model at this juncture because the way that works is that it takes the most recent year and weighs it the heaviest in making projections. So the most recent year is really an anomaly. But so there is some.
I would also say now, yes, that discussion would be part of it, and I guess if we saw that we really had a lot of, we need a lot more time or whatever, we could call a special call meeting just and have that discussion. At least it'll be an introduction of the booklet, because usually it comes out in December, and it's obviously been delayed this year by a couple of months. So we certainly can have, an initial presentation and discussion, and we can always, I think as your term was, dive deeper if we
Yeah.
deep dive.
That's it. Family using education all the time.
Yeah.
One of those, what it means.
So, David,
When's the next time we're gonna have a lobbying update, because I know there's a couple of things that are of extreme importance to teachers, step increases. Being one of them, I'm wondering how we can get that information out to the public.
Excellent. So I think we could decide to, would we like to try to have Lynn Stokes Murray come at this meeting, or we could have her, without giving her a lot of warning, we could have us aim for the first meeting in March. Probably a little,
I think this meeting's gonna be long.
I agree.
All right. Well, I just know that there's the hot topics. There's the staff increase, and there's the taking over districts that are underperforming. There's another
Yeah.
hot- There's another hot item
Vaccination.
that everyone's,
Just kidding.
that everyone's interested
You didn't see the updates that were lobbying.
No, they're, if you look at their contract, they are supposed to, I believe it was monthly. If you can go back and look at the contract, but I don't think we've ever, pushed with that, but certainly.
No, person.
No, in fact, it's probably easier for them to just zoom in, given the circumstances now, and they don't have to travel down here and all that. So, what are you, if you gentlemen are both in favor of, shooting for the first meeting in March, I will reach out to them, or I'll have Molly or Robin reach out to them and try to get that scheduled. I agree with you, I mean, this is what we do. Yeah, we need an update, and the public needs an update, the staff, teachers, yeah.
And I remember the third item was broadband.
Yeah.
That's at the state level, and there's a lot of movement.
Okay.
And I think it's important for the public to know that that's at the state level.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot we can do.
Right. We already did our part in that
We did
by
our part.
putting forth the resolution at the state level. A proposal. And is there any other, business on, next February business meeting or future? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Well, Frank's not going to bring it back. The Vico property. Also, yeah.
I know, was it the, I'm not sure, was it the salary study? That's been mentioned a little bit.
What's that?
Salary study? No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the update on, There you go.
Okay, that's different. I was thinking of looking at the compensation for the district employees, whereas, yeah, the bonus thing will be on, will come out of
This
finance.
one?
Yeah.
Because it's going to the finance committee this week, and it'll come out of committee to the board.
All right, motion to adjourn? Okay. Now, the motion, David second. All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Bye.